Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, comparing the all-new Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid to the Toyota RAV4 Prime. This is a battle of the plug-in hybrids. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah, for giving me some time with this RAV4 Prime. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Mitch. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood of the Outlander, we have a naturally aspirated 2.4 liter four-cylinder that's paired to a one-speed automatic transmission. Total system output is 248 horsepower, with the MPGe rating being 64 miles, and then the MPG rating being 26 miles combined between highway and city. You've got 38 miles of driving electric range because this has a 20 kilowatt hour battery pack. Under the hood of the RAV4, we have a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter four-cylinder that is paired to an eCVT and a hybrid system. Total system output is 302 horsepower. The MPGe rating for the RAV4 is 94 miles, with the MPG rating being 38 miles between highway and city driving combined. You've got 42 miles of driving range with an 18.1 kilowatt hour battery pack. So what that really means is that the RAV4 has a better fuel economy rating compared to the Outlander. It also has more range and it has more power. Before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting with the RAV4 Prime, I think it's a really good looking SUV. You guys can see you've got these cool daytime running lights here at the top portion. And then notice here with the Toyota logo, you've got the blue accenting. And then we do have this cool LED daytime running light down below. Notice how the grille is darker. And so, yeah, it's just an aggressive looking vehicle. Now compare that with the Outlander. Well, you got the Outlander logo front and center. And you got like the split light design with the daytime running light and the headlight. Definitely an interesting appearance. Parking sensors on the front end. But let me know which one you like the looks of more. So with the RAV4, tire and wheel setup is 235, 55, 19 in the front and in the rear. And then over at the Outlander, it's 255, 45, 20 in the front and in the rear. So slightly wider tires over here with bigger wheels. Whereas over here, we actually have a little bit more sidewall, but smaller tires and wheels. Now, of course, both vehicles have to flex that they're plug-in hybrids, so you've got your plug-in hybrid badges here on the side. And then you guys can see with the mirrors, notice how the RAV4 one's actually blacked out, which is pretty cool. Got an all-wheel drive badge down below. And then notice how everything's just body painted on this side, but on the RAV4 it's actually blacked out on the bottom, so that's pretty interesting with the appearance. Now, something else is funny is they actually have charging ports on the exact same side. So you guys can see the RAV4's charging port situation. And then the Outlanders, that's also on the passenger side, but notice the Outlander actually has two different styles that you can put in, which is kind of unique. And then here's a quick look at the side profile here on the RAV4 Prime. And then here's your side profile on the Outlander. Now here are the key fobs for both of the vehicles. You guys can see functionality is pretty much the same, but notice with the RAV4 that you can hold to precondition the vehicle, which is definitely pretty cool function. And it says RAV4 on the back. Now, although the Outlander looks like it's bigger than the RAV4, they're pretty much the same size, and I feel like the cargo space kind of shows that. You guys can see with the cargo space here in the back of the Outlander, you know, it's actually pretty dang spacious, and the Outlander also happens to have a third row, which is very cramped, definitely reserved for little kids. And then you can see the latches to throw down these seats. But again, you compare that to the cargo area in the RAV4. The RAV4s might be slightly smaller, but it's pretty similar in terms of overall space. No third row in the RAV4 if you're wondering. And both of them have power hatches. So you press that button there and oop, it's at the top as well. It's actually in the same place. Suspicious. And then when it comes to rear styling, you guys can see the Outlander has these pretty cool taillights here. And again, you got your PHEV badge to signify that it's a plug-in hybrid. Got to flex that. Parking sensors in the back end. But it kind of has like more of a rounded off look, whereas the RAV4 definitely has sharper edges. And then you guys can see we've got our Prime badge there down below. And then also we have dual exhaust tips, so it has kind of a sportier look, whereas the Outlander doesn't have an obvious exhaust tip because it's trying to show that it's, you know, more electrified. And then popping inside, this is where things get real fancy. So you guys can see with the Outlander, we've got a sunshade here for the rear passengers. And then look at like the material use and coloration on the door panel. We got this like carbon fiber print. And then here are the seats. Again, really cool. Look at like the stitching design all down the center portion. And then I'll actually pop in quickly so you guys can see. Legroom is solid. Then you got your headroom as well. And then we actually have heated seats here in the back. We've got our own climate controls as well as some vents. So definitely a nice place, and getting out is actually really easy. And then popping over to the RAV4, this one's the XSE, so you guys can see, got some nice padding here in the door panel. Not as, I guess, fancy looking as the Outlander. Seats though are really cool looking, I think. And then popping in, I think there might be a little bit more space here in the second row. Feels like a little bit more. And then you guys can see we've got the vents there, and then you got some USB port action. And then popping over to the front of the RAV4, you guys can see, look at the red stitching there at the top. All of our window controls here with the door lock and unlock, and then the mirror adjustment. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then pretty cool looking front seats here. And look at that design, and then power adjustments. And then you guys can see here, we've got like the release for the hatch, and then your gas cap release down below. Random storage pockets. Thing for the RAV4 is interesting. Then we'll start her up. Actually gotta move the seat back quite a bit. Power adjustable seats. Look at that. And you can see here at the steering wheel, really nice padding. Got the red stitching in the center portion. This does come with stuff like adaptive cruise control and then lane keep assist and all that. And I'm actually curious to hear how this sounds when I close it. Pretty solid. And then here is the gauge cluster. So full digital gauge cluster. Notice we're in the EV mode right now. And so to show us everything that's happening with that whole EV setup there on the side, which I think is pretty cool. Now we do have some different drive modes. We have an eco mode. You notice it gives us a cool animation. You got a sport mode as well. You got a normal on top of that. And then you also have adjustments here. You guys can see there on the very corner. Notice that says EV mode. I can press this button to change to like the hybrid mode or full on EV mode, depending on what you want to do. And then you can also just make it auto if you want. So you can just have the system do everything for you. And then with the infotainment screen, well, I gotta cancel through this menu, so bear with me. We've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And then this is just Toyota's newer unit, so we're not gonna spend too much time on it. But the cool thing with Toyota's hybrids is you can see the energy flow here. So you can see exactly what is happening. And then we do have dual zone climate controls. We got heated seats for the front. We got our stability control, and then you guys can see wireless phone charging pad right there. And then here's our shifter for that ECVT, and then this whole drive mode select thing. And it does have a trail mode as well, which is pretty cool. But those are the two hybrid functions I was talking about earlier. A couple cup holders, and then here's a center console, which, yeah, decent storage space. And then you can see there's more storage here above the glove box. And then look at the glove box itself. And I like that with the stitching. And then sunroof here at the top. Let's head over to the Outlander. Now popping over to the Outlander, you guys can see very fancy looking interior. Like look at all of the stitching and everything. Then you got that carbon fiber print yet again. Memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirror. And then, yeah, the front seats look just as fancy as the rear seats. And then notice they have massage function as well. They've gone all out with this thing. And then you can see you've got like your gas cap release, that's for the hatch, and then stuff for the charging system. And let's see how this door sounds. We'll do this one first. Yeah, it sounds pretty much just as solid as the Toyota door. Let's actually fully turn it on. Ooh. So with the steering wheel, you guys can see it's got like adaptive cruise control, steering assist, all that fun stuff. Both of them actually have paddles. I forgot to mention that in the RAV4. Sorry about that. But full digital gauge cluster here, just like the RAV4, which will show you different bits of information on the system. You guys can see I'm pretty much out of charge. I actually charged this up this morning. I live about 50 miles from this dealership, and I was able to drive up here on all electric power, so I didn't use up, that was the gas I used up the other day, so like I didn't use up any more. So pretty impressive with the range on these plug-in hybrids. But anyways, we've got a bunch of different drive modes we can go through, so notice it'll pop up there with the little drive mode, which is pretty cool. It'll tell you which one you're in. Tons of drive modes. I've been driving this one in Eco. You guys want to know. And then popping it into reverse, we have a 360 camera system on this, so a little bit more camera views compared to the RAV4, as you can see. And then with the infotainment system, I feel like just as easy to use as the RAV4's infotainment system. This is actually an infotainment system from Nissan, if you guys are wondering. And then look at like all the trim on the dash. Dual zone climate controls here for the front, and then you got your rear climate as well. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, and then we've got a wireless phone charging pad, some USB action. And then of course we have our shifter situation. This is for your full EV mode. Well, actually, it's to set the different modes, so you guys can see those modes you can pop into. I've just had it in normal mode. And then you have one pedal drive. That's what that is for. And then that's your drive mode select with your hill descent control. And you can see you've got your parking brake, your auto hold. And by the way, I love how this has like more off-road modes than some off-roaders that I know. And then decent storage space all throughout. And then here's a quick look at the glove box. And then this has a panoramic sunroof, so that's actually pretty cool. Now, when it comes to price, this Outlander has equipped stickers for $50,800, and then this RAV4 stickers for about $47,000. So to sum things up, the Outlander definitely has a lot more luxury features compared to the RAV4, which just makes it feel slightly more upscale, but you also pay a little bit more money for it, so you're kind of paying extra for those features. Whereas with the RAV4, it definitely has more impressive figures when it comes to the whole hybrid system. Again, more power, better fuel economy, better range. And so I want you guys to let me know which one you would choose, whether it is the RAV4 or the Outlander. And the last thing that I want to talk about is going to be availability with both these vehicles. So from what I know as of filming this video, it seems like the Outlander plug-in hybrid is relatively easy to get a hold of in a somewhat short time period, whereas the RAV4 Prime, you're probably like a year plus out from getting one if you wanted to order one. And so availability with the Outlander right now at least seems to be slightly better. Let me know if I'm wrong on that for some reason. But either way, let me know which one you would choose out of these. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Schmiller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with both of the vehicles. Check out their inventory in the description down below. I'll see ya.